Now this here is the front of my house where we've also put on a patio. Before we even begin digging out, the thing to do is to check our levels. That'll give us an idea as to what way we want to run our slopes for the runoff water. What you're looking to do is always create at least a 1 in 80 slope. So having established that, my slope is just coming straight out from the house. We dug out our ground accordingly. Now again here, I dug 160 millimeters deep, just catering for 50 millimeters of hardcore. Again, the ground is fairly solid, so there'll be no one driving on it, so we're fine with that. What I'm doing here is I'm using a contrasting block between the path which runs down the middle and the paving area left and right, and the railway sleeper will divide these, giving it a bit more variety or distinction. Now you see here I'm just cutting the railway sleeper using a bow saw. They're quite tough for a handsaw, but if you have a good blade and you follow the rules of sawing, where it's gentle pressure, you keep working the saw over and back, you're not forcing the blade through the wood, you'll get through it fine with a good blade, as they say. Now this picture you're seeing the front of the patio where the railway sleepers are laid. They're, by the way, on a 50 millimeter sand bed. We've packed them into that with using the sledge and the string line, as you saw, to get them reasonably level and straight. Now they're laid, and across the front of the path you'll see I've a pipe running under the path, because we're going to use a channel drain at the end of our patio to take the runoff water, and I didn't want the channel drain running across the path, so I just ran the pipe underground, and the angle pieces then will join the channel drain, and it runs off into the manhole. Now here to the right is our manhole. Now I've had to readjust the height of it, so I've knocked out the cover and readjusted the height to get the top of our manhole level with our patio, and the channel drain then, that's set 5 millimeters below our finished patio level to encourage the rainwater to run into the channel drain, obviously. Now here I'm putting down the screeds for the path which runs down the middle. The screeds, again, 4x2 or 100 millimeters by 50 millimeters if you've got all modern. The top of the screeds, we're setting them 55 millimeters below our finished level. 55 millimeters again. Our paving block is going to be 60, and we keep them up the additional 5 mil to allow for a final compaction of 5 mil on the paving block, which will bring it down. Here you see me, I'm putting in the hardcore, and next picture, just spreading it out with a shovel, and we rake that then using our rake to roughly 50 millimeters from the top of the screed, and we compact that then using the whacker plate. Now here we're doing the same with the sand, putting in the sand, raking it out to the top of the screeds, and we screed it off then with a piece of stick cut to measure. We run our whacking plate here then, as you see it, over that. I'll run a screed of sand now back over that again, because the whacker plate takes it down about 10 millimeters, which is perfect, and we screed off that 10 mil then with a loose bed of sand again, and we're ready now to remove our screed sticks. Right, so here now I'm removing the screeds, and I'm coming back over the channels, filling them with sand, compressing it down as I go, and use your fist or a small piece of stick for this. In fact, a small piece of stick is quite useful for leveling out the sand, taking care to incorporate it in with our finished screeded bed, so we don't get any bumps. Right, so with my screeded bed of sand for the path, I'm now laying on the path, as you see here, and making the associated cuts at the end. I'm brushing in my stabilizing sand with a brush, and remember now our block should be projecting about 5 millimeters above our finished level at this point, and the run of the whacker plate then compresses that 5mm back down into the 10mm loose bed of sand, which is roughly what happens all the time. So that's our path laid. With our path laid, we just repeat the process either side of it. Very same principle. Get our screeds down, ensure they're at the appropriate level, and you see I have a bit of hardcore there built in around them. That's what you'd use to adjust your level up or down a bit. Fill in our hardcore, roughly again 50mm from the top of the screeds. Compact it. Here we are putting in the sand, raking it out to the top of the screeds, screeding out the sand, obviously using the correct length of timber. You'll most likely have to cut a piece to suit, as all areas will be of different sizes. Just taking care to screed it out as best you can. Come back, compact that. You'll see actually here, this is a good picture because after the compaction you just see the bit of a gap that's left with our cross stick, about 10mm. And what we're doing now, we're sprinkling on the loose bed of sand, which we'll screed back over this now. So there you are, I've screeded that out, and we're just filling in the channels with the small piece of stick that I was telling you about earlier as well. When you're filling in the channels like that, just walk back up through the channels, so again you're not disturbing your laid bed, and just screed it out as best you can, working down along. And with our beds now screeded out, where we can lay on our patio. I'm working from the top this time because I'm able to walk up the path and come in from the sides. I taken care as well to run my sleepers and the path off at right angles from the house, perpendicular, which is ideal. I'm laying my blocks across really in straight lines, so everything is quite straightforward in this scenario, and coming out perpendicular. Now if you happen to be in a situation where you don't have straight edges to work from, you'll need to pull a string line to get established, and get your first line straight. You can cut back in then to non-straight edge, we'll call it. And also if you're laying your blocks in say block patterns where you'll have joints running down the length of the patio as well, you'll need to pull a line perpendicular to your start line, perpendicular at right angles, so your joints will run right out to full length, and your blocks will set in perfectly. So we're off anyway here, as you see. You'll see here at the edge as well, we're using the block running the opposite direction. This is commonly used to create an edge or a border, and if a helping hand doesn't go astray, it's the calling our neighbour. Very eager helper, but if you have somebody to pass you in the blocks as you're laying them, it really speeds the job up. You can just lash them in. It saves you bending up and down continuously. Just a good set of knee pads and pop them into place. Now with all our full blocks in place now, the next thing of course is to get our cuts. So measure accurately, and the diamond disc really gives you a superb cut. Lovely clean finish, so as we're using here. And yeah, our cut's made. We've cut around our manhole, you'll see here, nice and neat. So we'll just cement around this now, and you'll see that here at the end. And we're brushing in our sand between our joints. Even though they're a closed joint, it still doesn't hurt to brush in a bit of stabilizing sand, just to help tighten the whole thing up before we give it the final compaction, which we're doing here. I hope this illustration instruction has been of use to you if you're undertaking your own projects. And of course, as always, be in touch, let us know how they go. You'll get us from our website bricky.com. Thank you.